Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'd like to provide an overview of the usage summary, the reporting dashboard that's available within the Azure Enterprise portal. When you click the Reports tab, you'll be brought to this page. You'll notice at the top of the page you have a bar graph, which represents your total Azure usage month over month. This includes data from all of the different accounts and subscriptions tied to your enrollment. You'll notice that there's a blue line here that represents your commitment balance. This company started with a balance of $12,000. This green bar here represents the total Azure commitment usage. That's essentially your normal Azure usage from all of the different accounts and subscriptions tied to your enrollment. This company started with a balance of $12,000. They used the majority of that in 1 month, consuming $11,103. You'll also notice a small purple bar here, which represents the Azure Marketplace. The Azure Marketplace, if you recall, is charged separately, so it's also shown separately here. It does not deduct from your commitment balance. Instead, you are billed separately for Marketplace charges. The next month, the commitment balance updates. The portal subtracts out the $11,103 of usage, and this company begins the next month with a balance of $896.12. They use the remainder of that in month 2. That's what you're seeing in green here. Then they went beyond that. This red bar here, simply usage beyond the Azure commitment balance. We call that service overage. This company consumed their remaining $896 of commitment balance and went beyond that by $4,743. They also had an additional $739 of marketplace charges. The following month, the commitment month drops down to 0, and the company is operating in 100% service overage, as well as additional marketplace usage. Service overage, as well as marketplace charges, are billed separately and sent to the customer via a monthly invoice. You'll notice that you can click any month in the graph, and the data on the right side will update to show your data on that particular month. You'll also notice when you select a month, the data below on the page updates as well. The $11,103 of usage that we're seeing at the top from July. Now that we get a breakdown of each individual service that made up that amount, I'm able to see the service that was deployed, the amount that was consumed, the unit costs, as well as the total charge of that particular service, all of which totals up to the amount we saw in the graph above, $11,103. This is still high-level information that's showing you costs from all of the different departments, accounts, and subscriptions tied to your enrollment. You'll notice you can quickly and easily filter to a particular department, account, or subscription using the drop-downs here. You'll also notice that there is a charge by hierarchy option. Charge by hierarchy in the same information, but in a different view and in some people's opinion, a more digestible view. You'll notice it's going to list out every single department, as well as the spend of that particular department. Scrolling down the list here, I see a department titled Third Party Company, and I can see that they spent $2,548 of the $11,103 that I saw a moment ago. When I select a department, the system filters to show me the accounts within that department, as well as their total spend. The $2,500 that I'm seeing in third-party company, I can see is split between 3 accounts, one of which is empty, one of which has about $2,200 worth of usage, and one which has the remaining $300 worth of usage. Once I select an account, the system then filters to show me the subscriptions within that account. In this particular case, one subscription is empty. The other subscription has 100% of the usage. Now that I've selected this department, this account, and this subscription, you'll notice that the drop-downs have automatically updated, and when I select Charge by Service, I get the same information I saw, now with these filters applied. Again, I can click into any particular month to see how the data has changed in month over month with the same filters applied. This subscription goes from $293 in August to $403 in September, $443 in October, and so on. I do also get a similar breakdown for charges billed separately, as well as Azure Marketplace services if I had any deployed. The data we're seeing on this page, the bar graph, as well as the detailed breakdown below, that is all monthly. You will notice, however, you have the option to switch to a custom view by clicking the C here, which stands for custom. So if we did want to take a look at the data, let's say for a particular quarter or really any time frame, all you need to do is specify the dates by selecting them in the drop-down here. Select Search, and the system will update to show you cost and usage data based on the custom time frame that you select here. Flipping back to monthly, you'll also notice that you can view and edit the PO number here. Now this PO is how we invoice for charges billed separately, service overage, as well as the marketplace. You simply select the specific period of your agreement, and then you can adjust the PO very quickly and easily here. Now, one important thing to note is the timing of the invoice. We close the previous month by the 5th of the following month. Then we notify you, the customer, between the 6th and the 10th, and the invoice is sent 7 days after the notification. So you have about 7 days after the notification to modify the purchase order, which will be invoiced. All new enrollments, as well as enrollments in extended term, are invoiced and billed monthly. Now that concludes the overview of the usage summary. Thanks for tuning in.